8.2, questions of quiz 4, part 2. The last 5 questions in quiz 2. First one, question 6. In the JSP:\usebin tag, we can use a Java interface as the value of the type attribute. Yeah, let me get the color. All right, answer is true. Yeah. So the reason is very simple. So when we use type attribute, so different from class. So when you use class, you specify the, the specific, the concrete, full path, full package, path. Class, yeah. But for the type, yeah, this type attribute is used for the polymorphism. Polymorphism concept. Okay, yeah, so this one supporting polymorphism in Java Bean, using Java Beans in JSP. Yeah. So how to support polymorphism? So usually we have these 3 cases for the polymorphism case. The first is interface case. Right? Yeah. So many objects, they come from different concrete classes, but they all implement the same Java interface. Then we can say they are under the same type of that interface, same type. Although their concrete implementation classes could be different, but they implement the same interface. So under the same type. So that's the first case. Yeah. Second case, abstract class. Yeah. Abstract class. I hope you know this concept. Some of the methods are not implemented in a class. Yeah. Yeah. So you can do a lot of normal things, but with some of the methods, at least one of the methods has not been implemented. So it is an abstract method. If you have one abstract method in the class, the whole class becomes abstract. Yeah. So that kind of class you can also use for this type attribute. The third one, superclass. Yeah. Superclass. Yeah, right? Several different subclasses, but they under the same superclass. Yeah. So that is also one of the 3 cases of the polymorphism. Okay, yeah. So that's this question, the background of this question 6. Yeah. Then the next 4 questions all about XML, basic knowledge. Yeah. When you make XML documents, all the tags are created by the designers for certain software applications. Yeah. True. Yeah. The reason is, quite natural. So you think about, so why people? So the first thing is, all the XML tags are created by a certain group of people. Yeah. So this probably is different from HTML. HTML, all the tags are fixed, right? You do not have your own way to create HTML tags because there are HTML standard. It's there. So you cannot change. You just use the existing tags. But for XML, it's different. There are no standard tags. Okay? All tags are created by certain group of people. So we call designers. Yeah. So let's just call them, in general, designers, software designers, system designers. Okay? Yeah. So they have some goal in their mind, to do some business. So for that reason, they create certain, some specific set of tags. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's the reason. Number 8, only a markup language can be used to store transport data. It is false. If you can find a counterexample, it is false. We know XML, that's the markup language, right? XML, markup. You use tags, so that's the markup language. Yeah. But there is non-markup language that it can do the same thing. Store and transport, JSON. Yeah. We also study the JSON a little bit. Yeah. In this part. Yeah. I hope you have some background of this JSON. Yeah. JSON store the data in name value pair. Okay. Yeah. Name value pairs. Okay. Yeah. So one property, name part, value part, colon, separated, colon, then name value. Okay, so that kind of structure. Then you can see it's not a markup language. There is no tag inside JSON. No tag. Curly braces. Brackets. For array you use brackets. Curly braces for objects. That kind of things. So not markup language, but it can do store transport data. So that's a counter example. Yeah. Question 9. The XML was designed with a focus on how data looks. It's false. Describe what the data is. So you describe the description of the data. The first name, the last name, date, describe what type of data it is. There is nothing related to the look. Okay, how to display the data? XML does not do anything related to the look. Okay, yeah. How data looks, that's the HTML will do. HTML plus CSS will do that. Okay? Yeah, because, mainly the style thing put to CSS. But the CSS will be used to describe the look of data for some HTML document, right? Yeah. CSS cannot work by itself. It needs to be applied on some HTML document, right? Yeah. So that's the how data looks. Yeah. But XML does not have that part, the style part. No style information. Okay? Yeah. So that's another key property of XML files. Yeah. All right. So the last question of video 8.2. Is it possible that the programs between two different programming languages, here I use Java and PHP, can communicate through XML data? Answer is yes. Yeah, I should put yes. Yeah, yes, no, right? Not a true, false. Yeah, I should put yes. Yeah, but you know it. Yeah. So when you see it, if not quite right, so you can do the translation by yourself. Okay, so yes. Yeah. All right. The reason is pretty simple. Yeah. Because XML data, any program, any software can understand that part, right? Yeah. So it is not used by any specific programming language. Yeah. It is not bound to any specific programming language. Yeah. All right. Now you can do some generalization in that case, two different programming languages, they both understand XML data well. Yeah, so they both understand XML. Then they can communicate through XML, right? So when you send data, you send XML. The other side receive data, that interpret it, process it. Yeah, both understand same set of tags, so they can communicate. Okay, yeah. So that's the logical explanation. Next, I also provide you the real-world usage, real-world communications through XML data. So there is a technology called web services. Web services technology, very important in the real world. Yeah. So what's the web services? Yeah. Programs at different locations. Yeah, typically, different servers in different locations. They want to communicate. So when you want to do that, web services provide a relatively simple way to do the communication. Yeah. All right. So XML is one of the ways to do the communication. Yeah. Because web services, there are different types. Yeah. The old type called a SOAP type. The SOAP type web services using XML data for the communication. SOAP type. Okay. Yeah. So that's the old way. Yeah. All right. But the new way improve that, simplify that, because this SOAP old way still quite complicated. Yeah. Quite complicated. Yeah. So then the new way, REST web services make it simpler, much simpler. Yeah. So it uses the JSON data for the communication. Okay. Yeah. So those different programming languages, they both understand the JSON format. So they process on the same JSON format. Then they can do the communication. Yeah. So that's the REST web services. Currently, this technology is very popular. REST or RESTful. Sometimes people call RESTful. So very popular. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the background behind this question. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we finish the video part 8.2. Yeah. In 8.3, I will give you several EL examples. Yeah. All right. Yeah.